Hey, what's going on, everyone? I've done a video on my American Express credit card strategy. I've done a video on my Chase credit card strategy. And my most viewed video from the credit card strategy series is my Bank of America credit card strategy. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about my Capital One credit card strategy. This is going to be a special video because it actually takes me back to the beginning. It takes me back to the roots. It takes me back to when I first started, when I didn't have any credit, when my credit score was subprime. Hey, welcome to Points Blank Travel, everyone. My name is Rod, and on this channel, we talk about credit. We talk about credit cards. We talk about points and miles, how to travel around the country or around the world for little or no money out of your pocket. If this is something you're interested in and you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, give the video a thumbs up. It really helps it get put out there on YouTube, get published out there to even more viewers. Share it with your family and friends. Share it with people you really don't know, like your neighbors, your co-workers. You never know who can learn from information like this. And with all that being said, let's roll, baby. In this video, I want to talk about the credit cards that I have from Capital One and how they play a role in my 24 credit card arsenal. I currently have 3 credit cards from Capital One, and the first thing I want to do is talk about which cards I have and their annual fees. First on the list, man, is the OG. This is actually the oldest card in my arsenal. This is the card that has the longest age of active accounts I can't remember how long it is. I want to say it could be 10 years. It could be, I don't know, 8 years, 12 years. I can't remember. And that is my Capital One Platinum card. A video that I did on this card, and I'm going to post the link to the video down in the description, is actually my most watched video on the YouTube channel. That card does not have an annual fee. And I'm going to get into the details of that card in a minute. It does not have an annual fee, but I know I talk about credit card points and miles, but that's not the purpose of this card. Second on the list of my Capital One credit card strategy is my Capital One QuicksilverOne card. Now this card comes with a $39 annual fee. And with what we're trying to do, to me it's well worth it. It may not be worth it later on, but it must be worth it. I still have it, but it's actually gonna be worth it for people that are trying to establish or reestablish credit. And the third card that I have from Capital One is my Capital One Venture card. This card has a $95 annual fee, and it's actually worth the $95. I mean, you don't get a lot of perks with it, but it's still worth it, especially if you're trying to have a Capital One credit card strategy. You know, this video is going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different than the videos I've done in the past on my American Express credit card strategy. It's going to be different than the Bank of America credit card strategy. You know, in those videos, I talked about my favorite card. I talked about which cards I use the most. I talked about which card I use for the perks. But the Capital One strategy is an entirely different strategy. It's not about my favorite card or which card I use the most. Actually, out of these 3, there will be one card that I use the most. But none of the cards I use for perks. And as I go on in this video, you're going to see exactly what I mean. When it comes to Capital One and my strategy, I really only use 1 out of 3 of the cards that I just showed you. I only use 1 of them. But I really believe that 2 out of the 3 cards were extremely important to me when I rebuilt my credit. When I first started this journey, I was a 547 credit score, 547. Not the worst in the world, but definitely not anything to brag about. But this strategy had a huge, huge impact on me obtaining a credit score range that I have today, somewhere between 793 and 809. And what I want to do is if it's only one person, if it's 5 people, if it's 10 people, if it's 10,000 people, I actually want to help someone go from where I went to where I am today. Just one. If I can help one person, I'm cool with that. First thing I want to do is start with the Capital One Platinum card. This was the first credit card that I applied for when I was reestablishing my credit and realized that I had a 547 credit score and I really needed to do something to try to boost my credit score up. It was the first one that I apply for. And as you can see, this card does not have an annual fee. But I love their slogan. I love it. Get the credit you need with no annual fee. Now, this card does not come, I'm going to share my screen with you. It does not come with any type of reward structure. But this card's purpose is not to have a reward structure. Remember, we're either establishing credit or we're reestablishing credit. All we want to do right now is get in the game, baby. We're not worried about how many points and miles we can get at this point. We're worried about getting into the game. In order to be in the game, you got to be a player. And this card here is going to help people become players. So it is not have any kind of reward structure. This card is used to build or rebuild your credit. There are automatic credit line reviews. You'll be considered for a credit line increase in as little as 6 months. You do have a high APR with this card, man, so you definitely want to try to keep it low, keep the balance low and pay it in full each month. 26.99 is extremely high. You don't want to get caught up in that rat race. Now, with my strategy with this card, and keep in mind, I'm going to talk about my strategy, but I'm more focused on the strategy of people that are trying to build or rebuild credit. My strategy with this card, I only use this card 2 to 3 times per year, and that's just to keep it active. And it's usually a small charge. I'm not getting any rewards from it. I'm not getting any points or miles, but I do want to keep it active because it is my oldest credit card in my arsenal. So I do want to keep it active and keep it going because, as I stated before, that credit card that I barely used was extremely key into me building my credit to where it is today. When I first got approved for the Capital One Platinum card, I remember being so excited. And when you hear about the excitement, it wasn't about the credit limit. My credit limit was $500. And I think after another 12 to 15 months, I received a credit limit increase. Man, I was excited even more. And they increased it another $250 to $750. And as it stands right today, after all these years, my credit limit with the Capital One Platinum card is still $750. But don't get discouraged. Follow the path. Listen to what I'm saying. And I can guarantee you, you won't even be worried about what kind of credit limit this card has years or months down the road. I've had this card and it still has a $750 annual fee, and 24 cards later, I'm not even worried about, a $750 credit limit. I'm not even worried about the credit limit on this card. I'm not even worried about the card. Actually, I don't want it to get closed or canceled because it's my oldest card and that can't affect your credit score. Next, I want to talk about the Capital One QuicksilverOne card. Probably about, about 18 months after I got the Capital One Platinum card, I received an email and was prompted by Capital One to apply for the Capital One QuicksilverOne card, and I took them up on their offer. Now, this card at the time, and it still doesn't have any type of welcome bonus. I really didn't care. I didn't know anything about welcome bonuses. And again, we're just trying to get in the game. We have one card. We're trying to get into the game. This card does have, as I mentioned earlier, a $39 annual fee. So it's kind of cool because we're not up to that $95 and $150 and $250 and all those high annual fees that some of my other cards have. The cool part about this card was this is the card that introduced me to the rewards game. It does have 1.5% cash back on every purchase, every day, with no limit. So I was starting to use, I still didn't understand the whole grasp of cash back. I mean, yeah, you kind of understand it. You know, if you spend X amount of dollars, you get 1.5% back. You understand that, but I really wasn't trying to accumulate a lot of cash back. I was that person, kind of like most people out there, that only use credit cards when necessary. Now, I use my credit cards for everything. The only time I use a debit card if I go to the ATM. I use my credit cards for everything, but at the time in the beginning stages, when these two cards were pivotal in my advancement, in my trajectory upward, I only use the cards during emergency situations, and I think my recommendation to anyone would be kind of sort of keep that same strategy, but make 1 or 2 purchases every month, whether it's gas or lunch or whatever, when you're beginning to establish or reestablish credit. Make a couple purchases, Soon as it posts, if you can, pay it off. If you can't, when you get the statement, go ahead and pay it on the statement date. Don't wait till the payment due date. Don't risk it. We're still trying to get into the game. We're in the game. We have 2 cards. We're in the game. We don't want to use or mess up when we only have 2 players in the game. You know, if you watch football, you have 11 players on the field. If you watch basketball, you have 5 players. Only sport I know with 2 players, actually, we can think about tennis, or if you play golf, it's a solo sport, or beach volleyball, you may have 2 players. But right now, we want to get a few more players than just 2. This card also will review your credit payments, your history with Capital One, and after 6 months, they'll increase your credit limit. I remember when I got that card, I got a credit limit of $750, and probably about a year later, they increased the credit limit to $2,750, and this was years ago, and it hasn't increased since, but I was kind of happy about that because it kept me in a safe zone. I really, at the time, I didn't want a large credit limit, and when I was just starting out, the biggest fear I had was myself holding credit cards when I had already proven to myself that I wasn't really mature enough to handle it. So don't be so caught up in the credit limit right now. That'll come into play later. Last card in my Capital One strategy is the Capital One Venture card. And I don't know if you've guessed it, if you've been paying attention to the video, that is the only card I use on a consistent basis. Going back to the QuicksilverOne, I have 2 automatic payments that come out every month, and they're very small, just to keep that card active. I'm not really worried about 1.5% cash back. The Capital One Venture card I use quite a bit, and the reason I have this card is I have the Marriott card, I have the Hilton Surpass, I have the Marriott Bonvoy, I have the World of Hire card from Chase, and I use this card solely for travel. If I'm going to stay at a hotel that's not part of one of those 3 major brands that I named, like the Fontainebleau in Miami, I will use the points that I earn from this card to offset the cost when I decide to stay in South Beach at the Fontainebleau down in Miami. You know, I really think, and I don't think, the Venture card, the Capital One Venture card, is a perfect card for people that are new to the points card. Now, it wasn't the first points and miles card I got, but it was the first points card that I got from Capital One. So now if you notice, the Capital One Platinum, I climbed the ladder a little more, I got the Capital One QuicksilverOne. Then I was able to apply for one of Capital One's. I would say, I wouldn't call it a premium card, but in their lineup, it's kind of sort of a premium card. This card does have a $95 annual fee. It does come with a sign-up bonus. Now we're getting into the big leagues, baby. It does come with a sign-up bonus. You're looking at a 50,000 point bonus after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months. And what I like about it, when I talked about going to the Fontainebleau, that 50,000 points is equivalent to 1 point equal 1 cent. So you're looking at $500, kind of like cash that you could use to erase travel purchases. And after, you have 90 days. After 90 days, 91st day, 92nd day, it's not going to be applicable. But 0 to 90 days, if you know you're staying at a hotel that's not part of a major brand, or let's say you're staying at a hotel that is part of a major brand and you don't have any of the other cards, you could use the points from the Capital One Venture card to erase that purchase. A beautiful benefit. They also have transfer partners. I'm not a big fan of those. You know, if you don't want to pay an annual fee, another card to consider is a Capital One Venture One card. I did a video on that card as well, where you'll get, instead of 2 points for every dollar spent, you'll get $1.25 for every dollar spent. So 1.25 points. So it's still something that you can get out of that. You know, that's it. That's my Capital One credit card strategy. And I thought this was special. I actually prepped this video and did the content for this video a while back. It's just other things kept coming up. Other videos kept taking precedence. But I hope that a person that's establishing or reestablishing credit really pay attention to it, man. Pause it, rewind it, play it again, watch it again. I'm not really worried about anything other than people coming up, people establishing credit, people reestablishing credit. If you're running a Capital One lineup, I love to hear the cards that you're carrying right now. It could be 1, it could be 3. You know, I have 7, 8 American Express credit cards. And here I have 3 Capital One cards where I only use 1 of them, but at the beginning, I remember the day I only had 1. I only had 1 Capital One card. I only had 1 card, period. So I want to see people take advantage of. If you have any questions, man, if you have any questions about establishing your credit, reestablishing credit, please post them in the comments below. I love to hear if you're carrying Capital One cards, how you're using them, what kind of benefits are you getting. Post those in the comments below. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button, get a video a thumbs up, it really helps the channel out. Share it with your family and friends, share it with people you barely know, your co-workers, your neighbors, the people you see at the store that you become instant acquaintance with. As always, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars, baby. Hope you're having a great day. I'll be coming at you soon, dropping even more knowledge. And until the next time, peace, baby.